Hi guys, it's Rei Rei. I hope you're all doing well today. So this video is the introduction video to my new Sirius Starseed 4-week course that I'm launching very soon, okay? And I've left this video for free on YouTube just so you can all, understand what the course is about, see the structure to the course and everything, so you can determine for yourselves whether this is something that resonates with you or not, okay? But before I get into that, let me also just give you a brief introduction about myself and why I'm doing this course, okay? So my name is Rei Rei. I'm from the UK, Liverpool. I've always lived here. I'm an astrologer and an author, but I'm also an extraterrestrial contactee, and I have been since 2010, okay? Now, as a young boy, I'd always felt connected to the stars. I was always watching the stars. I remember being about 6 years old and having a pair of my dad's broken binoculars in my hands, trying to, see whether I could see any visitors from other star systems in the sky. I'd always been obsessed with space and the stars and everything like that, and a lot of people would call me crazy, saying I'm weird, especially my friends. Every time I'd see like an anomaly in the sky, which could be possibly a UFO, I'm not sure whether it was at the time or not, but, people would just shrug their shoulders and laugh it off, saying, Craig, you're seeing things, whatever, because Craig's my real name, by the way. But anyway, fast forward all those years later, in 2010, I actually had, for the first time, contact with an extraterrestrial being, okay? Now, this wasn't in a dream. I was fully conscious and aware when I had this experience. I was in a deep meditative state, okay? And this being, who's like a blue ethereal being, manifested before me while I was meditating. But even though I had my physical eyes closed, I could still see around the bedroom that I was in a spherical kind of fashion. So I transcended my physicality completely. And the moment this blue being materialized, I instantaneously just knew who he was. I knew that I was looking at a future version of myself. And I knew that he was from Sirius B as well. Okay, he told me he's my future self from Sirius B, just to confirm my inner feelings. It felt like I'd known him for eternity. There was not one inkling of fear within me at all. Okay, now this being has visited me again 5 or 6 times since then. He doesn't come very often because they don't want to interfere too much with our life, with our lives and everything like that. But I've also had contact with beings from other star systems as well. But today we're focusing on Sirius energy, okay? Now this being in particular, who I'm connected to, his wisdom, his knowledge does channel through me from time to time, okay? And I have been given this 4-week course from the Sirian beings. Now, a lot of you may, when you clicked on this video, initially thought that I'm going to tell you how to contact, the Sirian beings and everything like that. But that's why I do the Starseed readings. My Starseed readings have blown up over the last few years. There's been people all over the world making contact with their future selves and so on and so forth as a result of my readings, which isn't just a reading, it's a tool for contact. Okay, so if you wish to understand that kind of process, you can check out my website. Of course, the link's in the description. But this course is more about understanding Sirian spirituality, okay? Because once you understand these key philosophies within, the total matrix of our being, because Sirian spirituality really, and the truth of Sirian spirituality or Pleiadian spirituality or Arcturian spirituality or human spirituality, it's all the same, because truth is the same everywhere you go. The universe functions in a very specific way, and understanding the ways in which it functions can enable us to actually use those universal laws to our benefit, to our advantage. But Sirius energy on a more archetypal level then represents flow, it represents harmony, it represents surrender, okay? So this course is all about those things. The reason why they've given me this information is because in order for you to actually have contact with your, otherworldly selves, you have to raise your vibration first and foremost. These beings exist on a super high vibration compared to our own on a physical level, okay? That's why I had to transcend my physicality in order to have contact with my future self, for example. I had to meet that being halfway up the vibrational scale. And another way to do this is to raise your frequency by learning how to let go and surrender, and to actually be in alignment with the wisdom and the guidance of your own higher mind. Yeah. So this is what this course is all about. It's not necessarily about having contact with Sirian beings. However, the paradox is that the more you can practice these teachings and really embody them, right, then the higher the likelihood that you're going to have contact, because the extraterrestrial beings who are observing our planet right now, they're only willing to come to people who are of a certain level of vibration, okay? Because people of a low vibration just aren't ready for that kind of experience. There's too many fear-based beliefs and limiting ideas within their perception. It would traumatize them most likely. They do that out of compassion, of course, okay? So I'm reminded now of something that Sri Yukteswar, who is the guru of Paramahansa Yogananda, so he said, wisdom is not assimilated with the eyes, but with the atoms. When your conviction of the truth is not merely in your brain, but it is in your being, you may diffidently vouch for its meaning. Okay. And this course can hopefully help you do that, because we're completely saturated nowadays in spiritual knowledge. You know, people who have Facebook, for example, can just scroll down, who are in spiritual communities especially, can just scroll down their wall and they're just seeing inspirational quote after quote after quote. But what it's doing, it's going in one eye and coming out the other. I wanted to say one ear, but you know what I mean. What I want you to do is actually embody this wisdom. Because what this saturation of knowledge is doing to us collectively, it's creating a society of people who think they know it all when they actually don't, because their behavior does not reflect the things they say. Wisdom is what you do. It's not what you can say or think, okay? So this is also another reason why these beings have given me this course, which contains a lot of simple methods in which you can really embody these concepts and ideas. Okay. Because really, the entire point of extraterrestrial contact, you know, is about helping to raise the collective consciousness of humanity. It's not about just meeting beings from other star systems and saying, hi, yay, you exist finally. You know, that's a fun experience, and I can't wait till it happens either, you know, on a mass scale, so everyone can see that we're not alone, obviously, right? But we have to raise our frequency in order to do that. We have to raise the planet's frequency. This is the most important thing. The ETs don't care whether we believe in them or not. They just want us to believe in ourselves so that we can raise our frequency and ultimately shift the collective to a timeline where there's more peace, there's more harmony in society. You know, the world is a terrible place right now. You know, so courses like this are really, really needed. And this is also the reason, one of the reasons why I've also felt the need to actually get this done now, okay? To help bring more coherence into society, yeah? So this is a 4-week course, basically, and it comes with a video, a PDF with activities on it, okay? And also a meditation that you can practice every day throughout the week, okay? I'll be doing all of these. Every week we'll have 3 key points, okay? 3 key things that I want you to focus on. And then the practical application of that knowledge will be obviously not just when you're meditating, but when you're out walking around, going about your daily business as well, okay? So let's get into the course now. So week 1 is all about awareness. Awareness is the most important thing on the spiritual path. Awareness is expanding your consciousness. To expand your consciousness means to become more aware on every level of your being. Okay? So the first thing we're going to be focusing on during week 1 is simply self-awareness. Becoming more connected to your body. Okay, becoming more aware of what your emotions are telling you, becoming more aware of what's going on between your ears on a daily basis. Okay, because the less self-aware you are, the more prone you are to being controlled by subconscious habits. Okay, and most of your subconscious habits are simply fight or flight survival, you know, kind of impulses. So if you want to live more consciously, the first thing you have to do then is to expand your consciousness, to expand your awareness. Okay, so in week 1, we're going to be focusing on that. And then we're also going to be focusing on outer reality awareness. So becoming more aware of what's going on in your day-to-day business, becoming more aware of other people's reactions to what you say, becoming more aware of just everything around you. But the most important thing about this part of the first week will be using your senses to their full capacity. Okay. This is a very, very important teaching in like Buddhist and mindfulness practice, especially. Learning how to use your senses with full consciousness, listening with full awareness, touching objects with full awareness, really feeling them, whatever you're touching. Seeing with full awareness, smelling with full awareness, tasting with full awareness. So when you eat, for example, you eat with gratitude, maybe eat a little slower so you can really taste the food that you're eating instead of just, all like fast food has programmed us to do so. It's about learning how to just be more aware with your senses as well. Okay. And then the third part of week 3 will be synchronicity, which is also tied to outer reality awareness, you may think, but it's also tied to inner reality awareness as well, because synchronicity has 2 aspects, okay? I'll get into them more in more detail in the course, obviously, but synchronicity basically either reinforces your joy or reflects back onto you the fear-based beliefs in your perception, okay? So synchronicity is kind of like a doorway, a gateway into your unconscious mind, if you can use it that way. But synchronicity is also proof that all things are connected. But most importantly, it's proof too that your inner world and outer worlds are connected. They mirror each other meticulously. And once you're aware of that as well, then you'll be more inclined to remain more aware and to pay attention to what's going on inside of you so that you can gain greater control over your perception and your thoughts and emotions, which is pivotal, which is vital and essential to actually creating the kind of life you prefer. Week 1 will also come with a meditation, which can help you also, use your senses correctly, become more self-aware, watch synchronicity, and so on and so forth. Okay. So I also will send you that. And I do recommend with the meditations, you put them into practice every morning and every evening, if possible. If not, once a day is also fine. But you can go at any rate you feel comfortable with this course as well. So it's all up to you. So week 2 is all about trust. Okay, I was tempted to use the word faith, but I really wanted to keep some religious connotations out of this course, just in case some of you had a little bit of an aversion to them. Okay, now what do I mean by trust? I just mean in trust in the way that your life unfolds. But once you truly understand how the machine of the universe operates, once you understand these universal laws and principles, then you'll also be more inclined to trust that everything that is within you will materialize in the outer world at some point in time. Okay. But also it's about learning how to trust your higher self. Okay. So one of the key points of week 2 will be forming a more conscious connection and relationship with your higher self. The higher self speaks to you through your intuition. So it's about really teaching you how to develop your intuition and to really be able to discern between intuitive guidance and fear-based impulses. The second part will be about the unknown. Now, on a physical level and on a more ego level, out of reality level, we all have to embrace the unknown in some way, shape, or form. And the unknown is inevitable because we can never know what's about to happen, in the future. We can either embrace the unknown or we can either resist it. But embrace the unknown, we will. That's where the Zen saying comes from, let go or be dragged, basically, because the unknown is an inevitability for each and every one of us. And the third point on week 2 will be your unique vibration, okay? Every single being within the totality of existence has its own specific vibration. It's a unique vibrational code, basically. And the source, when it reads the universal mind and the divine mind, when it reads your unique vibration, it knows exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, basically, in order to manifest, your dreams and so on and so forth. So it's really about understanding this as well, which will also help you to see how surrender and flow brings everything to you that you truly desire at the right time because of that unique vibration that you have. And then, of course, you'll also receive a guided meditation as well for week 2, which you can put into practice each and every night to really help you to assimilate this wisdom on every level of your being. Okay? And week 3 is surrender then. Surrender. Now, a lot of people, when they hear the word surrender, also have a little bit of an aversion to it. Okay? But surrender is actually not giving up control. It's giving up control on the level of the ego, but the ego isn't who we truly are. It's actually stepping into your own power. And we're going to be discussing that in more detail, obviously, during the course, okay? The first point in week 3 will be about surrendering the outcome, consecrated outcome, okay? A lot of people are really good at putting their full focus and attention into whatever activity they're doing, but they're always motivated by some kind of reward. Yeah. And there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that, but still, surrendering the outcome will probably bring you an even greater reward because you're getting your ego out the way and you're enabling your higher self to shift you to a timeline where the outcome is more beneficial for your personal growth and development. Okay. The second part of week 2 will be all about practicing non-resistance. Living in a state of flow is to live in a state of non-resistance. Resistance to yourself and to the natural ebb and flow of your life creates all kinds of complexities within us. It creates illness, it creates disease, it creates, negative emotional kind of complexities. It creates mental illness in some cases as well. So learning how to be more in harmony with life is also something I'm going to be teaching you and practically showing you how you can do that as well. Saying yes to life more, But of course, this doesn't mean just being passive and allowing everything to happen to you that you don't prefer. But there's a very subtle difference between actually accepting something and acting from acceptance to make changes rather than just, completely in resistance and fighting against the flow of what life is trying to teach you in that moment. Okay. And then the third thing I'm going to be teaching you in week 3 is going to be all about timelines. Okay. So understanding the true nature of timelines, and how we shift timelines literally billions of times per second. Okay. And showing people how they could shift to the timelines which are more relevant to the expression of their true self, and also helping people shift to the timelines that can enable them to actually manifest their dreams and the fulfillment of their desires. Okay. And then, of course, week 3 will also come with the meditation to really help you assimilate that knowledge as well. And finally, week 4 is all about flow. Now, this is going to be, if you've done the first 3 weeks and then you find yourself at week 4, this is going to be a really kind of fun week for you as well, because we're going to be talking all about Citation consciousness on an archetypal level, because the origin of Citation beings in the Milky Way galaxy is the Sirius star system. Okay. And the dolphins and the whales and the killer whales and the belugas and the blue whales, all of these amazing creatures that are swimming in our oceans at the moment are actually connected to the Sirius star system as well. So, people who go and swim with dolphins are connecting to Sirius energy, and those who are like really motivated by things like, the conservation of cetacean beings and, I do feel like those people are Sirius Starseeds as well. That's why they feel motivated and passionate about that kind of thing, because they're tuning into their Sirius connections and they probably aren't even aware of the fact that they have them. But I'm aware of the fact that I have them. And I have always felt a huge connection to Citation beings in particular. The Orca, Free Willy was my favorite movie when I was growing up. I love that movie so much. I wrote a novel recently called Blue Orchid Awakening. The link will be in the description as well. Okay, this story is based in the Sirius star system. It's a fictional story, yes, of course, but it centralizes around the orchid as well on an archetypal level, and there's a lot of Sirian spirituality themes that are encoded within this story as well. I wrote this story, and I will write the future volumes of this story for the younger generations coming up so that they can have access to Sirian spirituality in a fun and an engaging way, through a story with cool characters and everything like that. So that's really why I was motivated to write that. And if you've got a child who's between like 14 to 21 especially, I do recommend you get this book for them, because it can teach them these same kind of things through a fun and exciting story. Okay. But yeah, we're going to be talking all about citation consciousness and how, for example, their echolocation, which, they use to perceive their reality. We have our own kind of echolocation as well, which I'm going to be discussing in the course too. Okay. Citation beings can enable us to go with the universal flow, to really surrender and to shift to the timelines and flow through those cosmic currents that lead us to our destiny. And this is why it's really important to connect to citation consciousness if you are indeed a Sirius Starseed. Next, we're going to be talking about something which is called even-mindedness, okay? To flow and go with the flow is to develop even-mindedness within yourself. This is something Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita teaches, okay? And we're going to dive deeper into that in the course as well, obviously. But, just seeing everything as fundamentally neutral, okay? And then from that neutrality, acting is a very important aspect of flow. Okay, because all situations are ultimately neutral, depending upon how you define them. All situations, even terrible situations, just because I say that all situations are neutral, doesn't mean that some aren't negative. They still can be, of course, in the sense that for us human beings, if we see someone commit a murder, we're going to think that's awful. But at the same time, if somebody's doing it out of self-defense, it still may be awful, but you can still understand why he would do that. So again, the context of every situation is really important as well. But context is still definition, and all situations are neutral until we define them. And then, of course, the last point of week 4 is just being open to receiving, okay? Being open to receiving. You've gone through the awareness, you've gone through the trust, you've gone through the surrender aspect, and now it's just about going with the flow and being open to receiving. Yeah. And the reason why I've left open as the very last teaching is because being open will also enable you to open up to Sirian energy more, so that you could potentially have contact like I have as well. Okay. So yeah, week 4 will also come with a meditation too. Okay. So that's it. This is how the course is going to be structured. If you think you could benefit from this course and these teachings, feel free to sign up to the course. I am in the process of getting it all up and running, but it will be available within the next few weeks. Okay, so you can pre-order the course now if you prefer. That's fine. Now, those who have had a full Starseed reading from me in the past will actually get $100 discount, a loyalty bonus from me. Okay, the course will be $400 initially, but if you've had a full Starseed reading from me, recently, then yeah, you can have it for $300 basically. So you'll save $100. I just like to really give back to the people who support my work. I really appreciate everyone who's reading my books, for example, and the people who have gotten readings from me. So yeah, I'm very thankful, and I hope that you will find some serious connection through this course. Take care for now. Bye.